That's one of the world's most successful groups over the last decade. That's Abba, and with me are Agnetha and Benny. Hello.
Hello.
Just over here for a flying visit, are you?
That's right.
For what, a week? Something like that?
No, it's something like 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days? That quick? In that case, we'd better get straight onto the phones because there's so many calls. We've had hundreds and hundreds of calls lined up. So if you want to pick up one of the phones, we should be one each, whichever one you like. They're all very attractive. And they all work. Michael Feely, hello.
Hello?
Hello, is that you?
Yes.
Right, you're on to Agnetha and Benny.
Yes. Could I ask you a question, please?
Yes, please.
Well, do you still feel nervous before you go onto the stage, before a big concert or anything like that?
Do you still feel nervous before going on stage for a concert?
You always do. That is something that goes worse all the time.
But that gets worse, the nerves, rather than better?
Yes.
One would have thought that having gone on stage for 10 years or more, that you'd be so used to it, you'd just drift on. And...
You're right.
Do you feel that? Or
No, I feel attention before a concert.
Is it because the more popular you get, the more you feel you've got to put the goods over? You've really got to come up with the songs?
I think it's just a matter of that you never know how the audience will react on what you're doing. I mean, you have high expectations each night.
Have you ever seen Abba live, Michael?
No, but I've got some records of them.
And we hope we can continue for another 10 years at least.
Thank you.
Actually, Rosa, did you ever see any of the videos of Waterloo about 10 years ago?
No.
I was looking at it the other day, and they don't look any different. With some groups, you look at the videos of 10 years ago, and they look so different these days. But you haven't changed at all, which is amazing. Must be good for you. Rosa, thanks for your question.
Must say so.
You always have ambitions, but we are very thankful for those 10 years. But you still have ambition to reach more higher up.
I think it's a matter also of maybe changing direction a little. I mean, when we've had the success we've had with Abba for such a long time, I feel an eagerness to do something else. I mean, not on my own, but sort of doing something else within the frames of music.
Like what? What sort of things have you in mind?
Like we have a thing in mind. We think we're going to write a pop opera.
Ah, no one's written a pop opera for a while, have they?
No,
I mean, it used to be the thing in the early 70s.
Yeah.
About what, or is that a secret at the moment?
Yeah, that's a secret at the moment.
Means he hasn't worked it out yet.
Benny, Bjorn, Agnetha and Anni-Frid. And that was a bit hard to pronounce all the time and too long. So we chose Abba. But if we hadn't had chosen Abba, I don't know.
Benny and the Trio, or something like that.
Benny and the Jets. Why did he put the bees facing each other in Abba?
Well, because it was just a sort of a design, layout thing.
Yes. It looked quite neat, that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yes. Is it? How do you pronounce Agnetha? Is that right?
My name is Agnetha.
Agnetha.
Yeah.
There's me saying Agnetha and things like that. You're probably squirming every time I say Agnetha, but I can't learn to say it properly in time, so we'll have to make do with that one.
Well, I'll have...
Only Abba records.
No, but I think that's a difficult question. But I think the first one would be Sgt. Pepper, the Beatles, and Pet Sounds,
The Beach Boys.
Pet Sounds.
Two very good choices, I think a wise choice. Sgt. Pepper is one of those timeless albums, really, isn't it? With every song is a goodie.
And some classical music, little opera, a little of everything I'd choose.
I would choose tracks from Earth, Wind and Fire and Donna Summer.
All 4 members of Abba.
Well, I find it difficult really to believe it. It's 10 years that you're celebrating now. Yes. What an amazing success story. Who has guided you over those 10 years? Who's guided you along this success path?
We've guided ourselves, I should like to think. Most of the time, anyway. With the help from other people as well. Mainly, maybe our manager, Stig Andersson.
Yeah.
Been very important to us.
And the papers recently have been full of stories that you're going to split eventually. You're not? No. Well, they're obviously relieved to hear it. I was just going to ask you if that ever occurred to you and who would make the decision. I mean, would it be a joint decision?
It would, yes. We will decide that together. It would be more of a feeling, I think, because when we were recording an album, we would feel that it's not fun anymore. We haven't got anything more to give. and that will be the time to split. You know?
You should have done that a long time ago.
I know.
In what way would you say you've changed since those early days of the Eurovision Song Contest?
I am alarmingly aging. Some of the journalists in the English press says that.
So you're alarmingly aging?
Well, they're
Am
right.
I really?
You mean musically or?
No, as people. As people, do you feel that has it been a strain in any way?
Older and wiser,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Are you a lot wiser? I mean, have you found
Yes,
that...
I am.
She's not.
Funny.
It's not only a sexy bottom, you know.
Oh, well, that's a quote to carry to your grave, really. I'm not just a sexy bottom, yeah. You have an LP out at the moment, the hit singles, and what I'd like to do, really, is just ask you to publicly tell us your favourite ABBA tunes. We've sorted out some tapes, and Agnetha, would you like to start? What's your favourite number from the last 10 years?
I think my choice will be Fernando.
For what reason?
Because I have seen on all our concerts that people seem to like this number very much. And they sing along, they clap their hands, and they can every word. It's wonderful to see.
And we get a little bit of sexy bottom as well.
Is it necessary?
Frida, it's your choice now. Is it a difficult decision just choosing one?
Are you asking me?
Yes, it's your turn
Yes,
now.
it's really.
She's getting old, isn't she?
It's so noisy
Hearing
here,
is
you know.
getting-
No, it's really a difficult decision because I mean Ben and Bjorn has written so many good songs.
Thank you.
Yes, but you should know about that by now.
Well, you never said that.
Okay, so it's the first time.
What would you like to choose?
I would like to choose Dancing Queen. But I remember recording that backing track. I really felt something very strongly for it, you know, from my heart. And also the recording when Anna and myself did the vocals. There was something very special with that song.
At which point did you decide to grow the beard? And I'm talking to you now.
That's about
When you found out how round his face had gotten.
I mean, does it seem funny looking back at something that's not that long ago, but it is a few years back?
Well, it's somewhat like 15 years ago I started growing a beard. And Bjorn is right. That's why I keep it.
He looks like a little cherub without it, doesn't he?
You should ask him the same question later.
Yeah. Benny, a selection, please, a choice.
Yeah, it's difficult. I'll pick Chiquitita.
For what reason?
Well, I think it's one of our best songs. I think all four of us here will pick. It's 4 numbers, and I think they all 4.
And so, finally to the oldest one. What? Bjorn, do we have a choice?
I'll pick the newest one then. I'll pick The Winner Takes It All, partly because I was told this was to be my choice.
Quite right.
But
You know, the reason for that is because it's my favourite one and because I wanted it on regardless.
yeah, okay.
So that's why you're lumbered with it.
Yeah. But anyway, it definitely is one of my favorites. I think it's got a beautiful, haunting melody, a brilliant, intelligent lyric about 2 lovers parting.
And it earned you a lot of money as well.
It did, yeah.
Now it's history.
Well, we had to stop it before we get to the best bit, simply because we actually want them to have a go at doing a little bit of live music here. Just before ABBA play us out from this edition of the show, can I remind you that I'll have as my guests next week Fleetwood Mac and the incredible Diana Ross. We've also got Kevin Munn, a viewer who's got a chance to come in and meet ABBA. Could we possibly have a little bit of music from you? Don't look like that as if it's a surprise. Please don't walk out. We'd like you to play us out of the programme.
Wonderful thing is everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank
And you're getting all your Christmas plans sorted out? Been doing any shopping?
Not yet. I'm afraid I should have, but I haven't.
Yes, you should.
You're always very late, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well, just a few moments ago, I put a list of questions to Barry Manilow, the sort of questions that I'm sure you've been asked by many sort of pop magazine journalists.
Yes, you're right.
And I wonder how quickly we could get down the line here. It's one question at a time, one for each of you. Let's start off with you, Bjorn, if I may.
Yeah.
Your favourite animal?
My favorite animal is a moose.
Why? Why the moose?
I think it's a lot like me. It's big, tall, very handsome.
I've heard they smell a bit. Anyway.
They do.
Frida, the most boring film?
The most boring thing?
Film.
Film. Oh.
The one you were in.
Yes, the part in.
Yes.
That's true.
Agnetha, the most amusing person you've met?
Person?
Yes.
Henry Fonda.
Oh, I thought Noel.
Very
Also-
good. You've got a rotten one here, Benny. What is the least favourite part of your body?
Well, I'd say all of it.
Back to the other end. And could you please tell me, what is your least favourite garment, Bjorn?
My least favorite garment is probably the one I had on when we won the Eurovision Song Contest.
I'd say the one you have now.
Because, you see, it was so tight, I could actually not sit down in it. It was terrible.
Because you were thick.
Oh, I was very fat at that. Yeah, that's
A good bit of aggravation going on here. Frida, what is the most annoying mannerism that you've ever seen in somebody?
Mannerism.
But
You have to explain mannerism.
Mannerism, no, I understand that. I think it's jealousy.
Yeah.
Would that be the right answer?
Yes, the worst feature, certainly.
Okay.
Agnetha, what is the worst holiday you've had?
The worst?
Worst holiday?
I only have good holidays.
Oh, lucky you. What about the best Christmas, Benny?
Well, they're all the same, aren't they? Nobody ever gives me any presents, you know.
You're going to get a lot this year.
Thank you, Bjorn.
Bjorn, what is your favourite relative?
My favorite relative is my good old rich uncle in Wisconsin.
Frida, I'll give you another terrible one. What is the worst thing that you ever had on your school report?
Nothing, I think. I was very good in school.
Let's keep that one also for Agnetha. Did you ever have a nasty comment on a school report?
I think the same goes for me.
Did she ever go to school?
I was very talented.
You have a marvellous life, don't you? Great holidays and nothing rotten happened to you at school. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Benny, I think this is the most awkward one for you, and I want total honesty now. The one question you'd never answer.
Is there any?
What is the one question you would never, ever answer?
Well, I can't come to think of one, actually. Try one.
Well, that's a shame, because that's what I was going to do the moment you told me.
Okay. Shoot.
Well, obviously, everybody over here wishes the four of you a very happy Christmas indeed.
Same to you.
Same to you.
And many congratulations. You have an enormous hit on your hands with your LP. Number 2 in the UK charts at the moment. Did you know that?
I thought it was
great.
number 1.
Well, you can't have everything.
Oh, yes, you can.
Well, it's not a bad philosophy. You've now got to get yourselves wired up. Would you like to get ready, please, for the next
Okay.
number?
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.